Oh, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy G-reg. We back with another video. We are reacting to Dr. Insanity. Let me subscribe real quick. Cops discover car filled with serial killers victims. My bad, y'all. Jeez Louise. Man, let's get right into it, man. Let's go.
Police just...
Hey, another reminder. If you guys want energy drinks, good energy drinks, man, that last, that get you focused, that don't make you, tweak out, go get you bucked up. 300 milligrams of caffeine with a bunch of great things that are added to it. Vitamins, you get all that good shit, man. Use code Greg6, bro. Get you a discount, man. And, come over to the bad. We're going to do the bad. Sorry, we're bad boys over here.
Arrived at an airport parking lot to investigate reports of an abandoned truck. Initially, it seemed like just another routine call with nothing unusual. But that's when it hit them.
It smells. I think it smells like detox. It smells something.
Inside the truck lay 4 brutalized and dismembered bodies hidden inside boxes. What officers didn't know at the time is that 11 more bodies lay buried and hidden in remote areas of the state.
What?
Active, twisted serial killer was on the loose, and detectives were already months behind.
Remember the last time you saw me a couple of months ago?
We don't care about any fake calls other than finding jealousy and jesting. Whoever did that is our focus.
I tied everything together yesterday when he did that. You know what I mean? Like, I know he lost them 3, man. I know he did.
Taking these other 11, did you take them all to the same place? If you ever came back out to New Mexico, would you be willing to take us?
It started on a Sunday afternoon when police in Branson, New Mexico received a mysterious call. A landlord had just discovered something he described as disturbing while cleaning out an evicted tenant's home. Officers immediately headed to the address to investigate.
So this guy hasn't paid us since July, but with COVID going on, we couldn't evict him, so we've had nothing but problems with him. Anyways, we finally got him to move out, so I seen him today. We haven't come by, we haven't messed with him. We'll play that chicken, When I came by, he says, I'm going to leave you a pile to throw. Well, we didn't know which pile, so we started to load it up. While we were moving some things, and we found this puppy in his box underneath some of the kids.
Bro, I'm just gonna say something, bro. If you kill a fucking dog, bro, you're a piece of shit. The lowest of the low, bro. I can't, bro. Motherfuckers that kill dogs.
Go to put the puppy in the bag because we were gonna bury it, and then we see that they had tied a cord on its neck. Okay. Well, we've had, like I said, nothing but problems with these guys, so I at least want to put a report on file. I know we won't be able to say who did it and when, but that needs to be associated with him, because we're going to take him to court for a lot of other things, and if I can just have that on file, it'll help. Okay.
It was clear the puppy had suffered a horrific death. Animal control arrived shortly afterwards and confirmed it had been deliberately tortured, noting a cord tied tightly around its neck.
Bro, I'd fuck this dude up.
The cruelty of the scene was deeply unsettling, and the officer immediately recognized they were dealing with someone truly twisted.
Real, bro.
Absolutely.
That would get me
right there just really got
pissed me off, bro.
No. Absolutely. Cruel, awful people.
Yeah, we tried to get in, the landlords, the owner, we tried to go into the house. They went in, they painted everything their own colors, and they just wrecked everything.
Unfortunately for investigators, the puppy was just the first body, and in the coming days, police would uncover more gruesome scenes, strange disappearances, and disturbing evidence pointing to something far more calculated than anyone expected.
I'm a single mom of a 4-year-old. I'm working a full-time job.
Ain't nobody care, baby. My bad, sorry.
That same day, Detective Robert Turney was assigned a missing persons case involving
Why does the detective look fucking crazy?
19-year-old Matthew Miller. Matthew's grandmother had called 911 a couple of days earlier, worried because she hadn't seen or heard from him in nearly a week. It turned out police were already familiar with Matthew and knew he had previously struggled with substance abuse, so initially they assumed his disappearance was drug-related. Maybe he overdosed somewhere. But Matthew's family insisted something was different this time and urgently requested to speak with detectives. Trusting their instincts, Detective Turney decided to visit Matthew's grandmother, where he would discover some unsettling new possibilities.
I'm talking about it.
So you guys can help me out by just calling around to hospitals, clinics, rehabilitation places, other county jails, and just see if he's there. So prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Okay. But I will tell you, I don't more than enough to arrest Matthew. And he's not one of those people that I want to arrest. Matthew is not going to pull a gun on anybody, right? To get his drugs.
Yeah, no.
He's not that kind of person.
Yes, that's my main fear.
And he probably has a little bit of a complex because he knows he's that kind of person. And so he's going to be real hesitant to reach out and tell you guys the actual truth about this person took advantage of me.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't.
So just forgive him. All you can do is tell him you love him and you forgive him and go from there.
After rehashing some information with Matthew's family, Detective Turney would go on to learn some critical details. Matthew's girlfriend told the family she saw him getting into a vehicle with several other people, including a blonde woman named Jennifer Lannon, someone Matthew had recently been spending time with. He also learned that Matthew often spent time with a close friend named Justin Mata and his girlfriend, Leonie Calzada. All three were known to use drugs together. Acting quickly on these promising new leads, police began searching locations Matthew was known to frequent, and soon enough, they located Matthew's Chevy Colorado truck parked and seemingly abandoned within a few blocks away from Leonie and Justin's residence. The truck was dirty, locked, and appeared to have been parked there for several days.
Is that a work truck? Homie look, I'm not trying to judge or nothing, but homie did not look like a... Never mind.
Detectives found clothing and personal belongings, as well as several unsettling items including a pair of rubber gloves and a shovel lying in the truck's bed. They also found multiple cell phones that were damaged in the front and back seats. It seemed clear Matthew hadn't intended to leave the truck there, and detectives sensed something wasn't right. Immediately, investigators canvassed the area and found surveillance cameras nearby, one of which captured Matthew's truck arriving at Leonie and Justin's address on January 26th, just 3 days before Matthew was reported missing. With these new alarming discoveries, Detective Turney knew the next logical step was to urgently speak with Matthew's friends, Justin Mata and Leonie Calzada, hoping they could shed some light on the situation. However, when they arrived at the couple's residence, they would quickly realize Matthew wasn't the only one missing.
Hey, bro, I'm just gonna say this right now, right here, bro. I don't condone hard drugs, bro. I'm just gonna be straight up. My parents were hard druggies, alright? I was adopted. I was put through the system, bro. Drugs can not only affect you, but they can affect your family members, your kids, your parents, your brothers and sisters. My grandparents, they weren't forced to, but they adopted me because they wanted, they weren't just going to let me fucking, go into the system and do all that fuck shit. So they pulled me out when I was like, what? I don't remember, like eight probably. Yeah. But yeah, my parents, they were not good people, bro. I'm not going to say they're bad. Well, yeah, they were. They went to prison. Well, they just had a fucked up life, all right? They were focused on hard drugs. They were focused on, fucking and nothing else, not working, not keeping a job, nothing like that, bro. If you want to do anything that will, like, help you mentally, just Stick to weed, bro. And if weed's too much for you, if you're too lazy on weed, if you can't handle it, get off of it. Go work out. Go start a new hobby. Go cook. Go paint. Go play sports. Go do whatever, bro. There's a lot of things that can that people need to try before they really give into the depression. I struggled, but I had THC. I used that. That helped me. I used gaming. I used streaming. I worked out before I injured my back. I used to do a lot of things, and now I stream. I game. I'll hit the cart. I'll smoke some bud once in a while. But yeah, you should. And I have like a person here now, so like I'm good now. But everybody, you should stay off the hard drugs, bro. They can get you in a lot of trouble if you want them to, or if you don't mean to. You know what I mean? People will take them to do some crimes, or people will take them and get into some crimes. You know what I mean? So just stay off the hard drugs and alcohol. That's all I'm going to say. My bad for the rant. I won't rant no more.
No, just you? You sure? You okay to come in? Hey, guys. Hey, Let me come over.
He's gone.
You gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Leonie Calzada, the girlfriend of Matthew's close friend, Justin Mata, and someone detectives suspected might know exactly what happened to Matthew.
This is very, very important. We're looking for Matthew Miller. He's been missing for over 2 weeks. When was the last time he was here?
Maybe a year ago?
A year ago?
When I first got this place, yeah. When I first got it, last February.
He hasn't been here since then. Okay. What if I got video of his vehicle?
Maybe just been having here, I just been having myself.
Okay. When was the last time you saw him here?
When he was, once he came over, I first got this place.
A year ago? You think Justin would have,
He would have, yeah, probably.
when you weren't here?
I wouldn't, we weren't intentional, yeah. Because they said all that, yeah. But he left on 17th and came back. And then
17th, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and then I went to talk to the grandkid, and he's like, yeah, they like each other. They're doing it night, and they're doing it.
Do you have any kind of way to contact Justin? You have a phone number?
No, he left him to go.
What's his phone number? Email, Facebook?
He took my phone, my phone, took my phone, yeah. Took a while.
When's the last time you had any kind of communication with him?
That's when he said, go by Coke, so I'm going by Coke.
What I would like to do, alright, is look around your house for any kind of evidence of Matthew.
He's chilling. I'm not going to lie. The detective over there, man, he's chilling right now.
Kind of foul play, not looking for anything other than that.
According to Leonie, her boyfriend, Justin, had also mysteriously vanished, and she hadn't seen him since January 17th.
3 weeks and you're not reporting that, bro? And he had your phone, bro? I'm not going to lie. That's kind of fishy.
Nearly 2 weeks before Matthew was even reported missing. But investigators knew something wasn't adding up when Leonie insisted she hadn't seen Matthew in nearly a year. Surveillance footage clearly showed Matthew's truck outside her residence just days before he disappeared. With their suspicion mounting, detectives decided to search Leonie's home, hoping to uncover whether she might be hiding something. Or someone.
Did you notice anything strange that happened around here? Did you notice anything different around here? Like signs of any kind of blood? Needles? What about needles or pills or anything like that?
That's what he's using, I'm not sure though.
Yo, I just did. I literally just did it. Swear to God. You had 7 subs, now you have 8. You're welcome. Did you sub to me? You fucking pussy?
4 common myths about custom rugs.
Huh? Fucking sub to me then.
Yeah. Sorry.
Did you sub to me though? This motherfucker's gonna say bet thank you and then alright, bet.
You're gonna sign one
bet.
Trump per year. That's my max.
Despite their best efforts, investigators found no signs of foul play or violence.
I bet. My bad.
Still,
I didn't know you had a
Detective
YouTube.
Turney couldn't shake the feeling that something was overlooked.
Hey, are you gonna play Grounded with me?
Turned to speak briefly with Leonie, unaware she'd drop a crucial clue.
The 17th, Tristan marked off with,
Arizona.
Yeah, with Jen Cannon
As of the 17th
of January. He left this in his life.
Leone revealed that Justin had recently taken off with another woman named Jennifer, supposedly heading to Arizona to re-up on drugs and make some money. With this new detail, Detective Turney now found himself investigating the disappearances of 3 different people: Matthew Miller, Justin Mata, and now, potentially, Jennifer. Not yet aware just how closely connected these cases really were. So to move forward, Turney quickly looked into Jennifer and discovered she had recently been reported missing by her ex-husband, Sean Lannon. That name sounded familiar to Detective Turney, because just days earlier, officers had responded to a disturbing call at 817
That was him?
the same property where the remains of a tortured puppy had been uncovered.
Hey, fuck that person that did that shit on Baby.
Sean and Jennifer Lannon. Finally, investigators were starting to connect the dots. 3 people, all closely linked through drugs and personal relationships, had vanished within days of each other. Detective Turney realized it was time to canvass the neighborhood surrounding Sean and Jennifer's former home, hoping a neighbor might have seen something suspicious or could offer the lead they desperately needed. That's when they found a neighbor whose security camera was pointed directly at Sean and Jennifer's old residence, and what the investigators saw on the footage would finally bring some much-needed clarity to their case. Without this neighbor's camera, detectives might have hit another frustrating dead end. It shows just how important reliable security can be, because when something happens, every second matters. That's why app hands up police, so your police need to communicate packages has a deal. Matthew is seen entering Sean's home, but investigators never see him leave. Hours later, Sean is spotted on camera driving away in Matthew's truck, and when he returns, he's alone, on foot, and Matthew is nowhere to be seen. 2 days later, on January 28th, the same camera recorded someone loading household items into a red Dodge Dakota parked outside the residence and driving away. This CCTV footage marked a critical turning point for investigators. For the first time, detectives had visual proof of Matthew at Jennifer and Sean's residence. With this significant new lead, the next step was clear. Detective Turney needed to speak directly to Sean. Only his account could clarify what happened that day and potentially reveal crucial details about the missing trio. The next morning, Detective Turney reached out to Sean and agreed to sit down for a formal interview. Whatever Sean said next had the potential to shift the direction of this case completely.
So, first things first, let's get her into this missing. Okay? Have you ever seen Matthew Miller, you know what I'm talking about? Was he over at your house? Definitely. And I bring up his death and before the 3rd, was his truck ever parked at your house? For more than like a day, overnight? I'm not sure. Have you ever driven his truck? I've driven his truck. When was the last time you drove his truck? A couple weeks ago. So, again, when did you find out that they split and took off to Arizona, ran away together, whatever? It was 7 weeks ago. Came back all week. Did you have anything to do with Jennifer's disappearance, Matthew's disappearance? I don't think no. You think something bad happened to Matthew and Jennifer? I know Jennifer drug and choice used to be when she came back with our bills, and I couldn't imagine like she loved those. Man, I just got a really bad feeling about all this. You don't? I do. You don't seem... I've been living in this circle for a minute. Has she ever done this before? Yeah.
During the interview, Detective Turney notices something strange. Sean remains unnervingly calm, especially considering his ex-wife and the mother of his 3 young children has just vanished. Turney begins to question whether Sean is simply a bystander caught up in a tragic situation, or if he knows more than he's letting on. The next day, Detective Turney would get his answer, as police received an unexpected call from a man named Josh Hall. Josh was an acquaintance of Matthew Miller and claimed he'd recently witnessed something that deeply concerned him, directly related to the strange disappearances. Investigators quickly arranged for a meeting with Josh, hoping his account would finally provide the breakthrough they were looking for.
Ooh.
What's going on?
Can't tell what kind of bike it is.
Oh, that's my kid's cousin. Check this out, man. Check this out. Follow me. Check this out, man. Yesterday, right, with that Kelly. Right, Sean told me to go talk to you. And I guess he had to go talk to you or something. Talk to cops. He goes in the Kelly's in the garage, stashes the bag in the ceiling. Gun, jacked his wife's IDs, some clothes, some other shit. There, he just stashes it there. Says he had to go talk to the cops. Cut his hair.
They whispering like the motherfucker right there.
Yeah. Sean killed all three of them, man. I'm telling you, he murked all three of them people, man. He's putting it off on Martha that he ran off and everything. Why in the... Yes. I don't know, man. Kelly's like my sister. I know all it, you know. Killed all three. I know he did, man. I know he did. He did, man. I'm telling you. Come on, they find the truck right by his house. You know what I'm saying? And was throwing a trip over it. You know what I mean? Like, Martha was, she was chick. Martha was there. He's a smart man. He's good. Look how long they've been missing for. He just barely reported his wife missing. His wife's been missing since like the 23rd. Since last month, you know what I mean? She's been missing the same time Matt's been missing.
Hey, this dude's smart, bro.
And after he left,
I don't want to profile nobody, but like, I think homie, he knows what he's talking about. He been there, done that, or not murder, but like he knows what it's like.
We'll talk to you. Kelly went in there and opened that.
He's smart. He sees shit. Like he said, he's seen that motherfucker stash and shit. He didn't think it was just some random shit. He knew it was a gun and clothes and shit.
So, and some other personal privileges, some clothes, and I don't know what she do with it. She wigged out. I had her with me the whole time. She was stripping her. Oh. And then Yanni Limos took off with it. He was there too. Yanni Limos took the gun. Took the shot. What vehicle was Yanni walking? Walking? That he was walking. I'm telling you, man. He tripped me out yesterday. That's how I tied everything together yesterday when he did that. You know what I mean? Like, I know he lost them three, man. I know he did.
Josh claims that Sean arrived at the residence of a woman named Kelly DeSoto, carrying a bag he carefully hid in the ceiling of her home before leaving to speak with detectives at the police station. After Sean left, Kelly discovered the hidden bag, removed a gun from inside, and handed it off to a man named Danny Lemos, locally known as Dog, who quickly took the weapon and left on foot. When Sean returned and realized the bag was missing, he became visibly agitated, smashing his phone on the ground before storming out. These troubling claims raised immediate suspicion around everyone involved, including two new persons of interest, Kelly DeSoto and Daniel Lemos, both closely associated with Sean and Jennifer based on Josh's statement. Daniel Lemos was nowhere to be found at the time, so Detective Turney knew he urgently needed to verify Josh's account by speaking directly with Kelly, and more importantly, find out if she was hiding anything that could help connect the dots in this increasingly tangled case.
My bad, I had a yawn, chat.
When investigators first arrived at Kelly's house, she agreed to meet them at the station for an interview, but refused their offer of a ride, saying her boss would bring her in about 30 minutes. However, when the time came, Kelly never showed up at the police station. It was a major red flag, and it made investigators even more suspicious of her.
Bitch ass.
2 hours later, Detective Turney returned to her house, suspecting that Kelly might be stalling for time or trying to cover something up.
Robert, Ben. Well, detectives?
Hi. The show hasn't gotten here yet. So I talked to my lawyer and he told me that I didn't have to go with you guys.
You don't have to.
What is it about? Can you tell me?
It's about the disappearance of
who?
Matthew Miller and Jennifer. Sean Lyman.
Sean is not missing.
I know he's not.
This time, Kelly's behavior was noticeably different. She appeared distraught, reluctant to cooperate, and quick to mention her lawyer. Detective Turney felt certain that she was withholding crucial information and decided to press harder.
Was Sean here yesterday?
He's been out yesterday.
How many times?
5 times.
Well, we just
5 times, bruh?
He told me that he had to go down and report Jennifer missing.
did Sean find anything in the house that was really anything?
Oh, yeah.
Did he destroy his phone?
Yeah, right here, I forgot. He destroyed his phone.
Did he bring a bag inside that had a gun?
No.
Or any of Jennifer's identification cards? Did he look in it?
Don't lie.
Did Daniel almost take the gun later?
No.
Do you think he did something to Jennifer and that's it?
I honestly don't. He doesn't seem like that type of person.
I think you're lying to me about the bag and the gun and Jennifer's ID.
I'm not. I don't know anything about. Like he asked me. He said, "Where's my?" Yeah, no, I didn't see him bring anything in.
Well, you're forgetting what I already told you.
I know.
Sean has some stuff in your shed.
Yeah, he was moving. I don't know. Any questions?
Nothing yesterday?
No. I don't think so.
Have you got through it?
No.
After some more pressure, Kelly admitted she had several suspicious bags in her shed, supposedly belonging to Sean. Curious about the contents of the bags, detectives quickly followed Kelly to take a closer look.
I'm pretty sure yeah. I couldn't. That box there is not his. I don't think. I'm sure it's not. And that paint can is not his.
This one?
That's his. That's his. Oh, is it in my face?
Jackson? You ready? She let us search that thing from head to toe. And outside too.
Despite their best efforts, detectives found no clear signs of blood or evidence linking back to the missing people. It was a frustrating dead end, and the chances of finding them seemed increasingly slim. At this stage, investigators focused on several individuals close to the missing trio, each with conflicting stories and questionable behavior that kept detectives on edge. But without hard evidence, options were increasingly running out. Desperate for a breakthrough, Detective Turney secured a search warrant for Sean and Jennifer's former home at 817.
Why didn't they do that in the first fucking
Unsure
place?
exactly what or who they might encounter, officers cautiously approached the property, prepared for any potential threat.
New Mexico? I didn't know New Mexico got snow. Damn, they're locked and loaded. They're not fucking around. This looks like a Call of Duty map. NGL. You gotta check them cabinets, bruh. You gotta check them cabinets. They don't got them filled. They don't got shit in them. There's no drawers in them. You just seen them. You gotta check them motherfucking cabinets.
Yet again, investigators were too late. The house had already undergone extensive renovations, carpets removed, drywall stripped, any potential evidence completely erased. Unbeknownst to investigators at the time, the critical evidence they desperately needed was sitting in an abandoned truck, miles away, just waiting to be discovered. For now, though, every possible lead was exhausted, and Detective Turney knew it was time for a more direct approach. So he called Sean once more, determined to extract something, anything, that could finally lead investigators to the missing trio.
He was flexing with that. What? Yeah, that's a flex right there.
Hey, is it Sean?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Sean, this is Detective Turney. How are you doing?
Good, how are you doing today?
Good, man. I've been trying to get a hold of your other number, and it's not working. So,
I apologize. Sorry.
so you know anything new?
No, I haven't heard anything. Nope.
Okay. Are you still around town?
No, I'm in Albuquerque.
No, we've made some progress here and there. I've got a bunch of pictures of different vehicles. I'd like you to take a look at, see if you could help me identify them.
Good time tomorrow. I wanted to come in and stuff I got to return to the school.
Okay. All right, just make sure the kids are taken care of, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks, sir.
we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks.
Sean sounded cooperative and willing to help, promising Detective Turney he would come in for questioning. Yet, Sean never showed up. The next day, Turney even offered to personally pick Sean up and bring him to the station. But once again, Sean failed to appear. At this point, Turney felt certain Sean
you
was
gotta go get him,
stalling and knew they couldn't afford to waste any more time. He's done playing cat and mouse.
Yep. He done fucked him up, or fucked around and found out. Hey, you can only stall cops for so long, bruh. Real shit.
With the CCTV footage and witness statements pointing directly at Sean and Danny as crucial
I would have
figures,
gone to,
Detective
I would low-key would have went to Kelly's again. I'm not gonna lie, I would have pressure heard more.
Turney knew he needed to bring them in for questioning, so investigators dug deeper into both men's backgrounds, and that's when they hit the jackpot. Sean had an outstanding warrant for missing a court.
Bro, are you guys fucking kidding me, bro? Cops really wait this long to do background checks? What?
Appearance related to a 2020 assault and battery charge. It was the break they needed. On February 25th, officers located Sean in Albuquerque and arrested him without incident, transporting him directly to the Grants Police Department for questioning. Detective Turney's goals for the interview were simple: determine exactly what Sean knew about the missing trio and find out where Danny Lemos had vanished after taking the alleged gun.
Let's go back to Matthew's truck. Okay, so it starts to back in there, and you're the last one who drove it. Right. So let's go backward from when you parked it. Where did you go with it that day? Do you remember specifically?
The only places I ever traveled was one side of McDonald's. I thought that was the last day we ever used it. And I got Smith's, we got water, food, Walmart, that's it. Is there a tracker on the truck? My phone was always on, like, pull the line. I'm not going in the mountains. I have children. I don't have any bodies. Like, I was a medic.
Who said anything? Hey, who said? Oh, it was a medic in the army, yeah. Alright, yeah, he's got PTSD, but he's fucked up in the head.
Army, like, I have 3 kids.
He's fucked up in the head, bruh.
I don't think you're capable of doing something like this. I think you're very capable of defending yourself, though. An accident happens.
If it was nice, I would be like, it's self-defense, because self-defense is feasible, but literally, no. The biggest fear in my house, why the pistol stayed in the house, was had a dog. Like, that guy scares. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Yeah.
So,
who told you to park it there?
Justin was there at the house, talking with, like, they're all chewing on the soup.
Who's all there?
Jennifer, Justin, and Matthew. And he gets a boatload of pills from him. And they're like, we're gonna go score. I mean, they no money, nothing.
So you take the truck and the kids.
No, they leave the truck. And literally, I'm like, well, I need to go. Like, can I get some fucking groceries or some shit?
Okay.
And literally, I'm like, what do we do with the truck? He's like, leave it. I'm like, yeah, leave the shit here. Like, no. I was like, I can park in front. No, I need to go to the dumpsters. I need to go to McDonald's, water,
And so they told you in the house, when you're done with it, to park it at the Lubbock Apartments.
Matthew wanted to park it down the street. He says, no, my buddy's over there near the apartments. Just leave it there.
As the interview continued, Sean seemed to have an answer for everything, including the CCTV footage, claiming he only moved the truck at Matthew and Justin's request. He also appeared to casually downplay the entire incident, insisting the trio's disappearances were simply part of a drug-related business venture, nothing criminal. But Detective Turney wasn't buying it. He knew Sean's explanation didn't match witness statements, and his earlier actions were too suspicious to ignore. But without solid proof, Turney couldn't directly refute Sean's story. So, to move forward, Detective Turney changed tactics. He decided to deliberately introduce Danny Lemos into the conversation, offering Sean an easy scapegoat. If Sean took the bait, Turney might finally uncover what Sean was hiding, or at least gain insight into what really happened to the missing trio.
Did Danny kill him?
I have no idea. I literally spent most of my time with the kids. If I had to guess who would kill him, it would be the guy saying, if I gotta dispose of bodies, I'm gonna put him in my pig. And he showed me the pig one day because I was helping him at his house.
This is sure.
I don't have any answers for Matthew. I don't know much about him. Talk to dog. If someone's gonna move a body and put it somewhere, I guess the creepy dude that talks about pigs with everything but the eyeballs. I'm like, who would know that? Like, this dude's
farmers. What do you mean, farmers? What? Pigs? Literally, everybody knows pigs eat everything, bro.
Whatever. I'm scared of dog. So
what?
my kid's a scared dog. I'm scared of dog. I don't know what the fuck I'm afraid of it.
Oh, dog. Dog.
We hid in the house. I didn't go anywhere. I definitely didn't leave my kids for 5 hours to find the look of the other one.
Just as planned, the moment Danny Lemos' name came up, Sean seized the opportunity and implicated him, pointing to Danny's violent nature and even suggesting his ability to dispose of bodies using pigs.
That's crazy.
Beyond those accusations, however,
they caught his ass like that.
His story for the rest of the interview, denying any involvement in the disappearance. Without solid proof against him, detectives had no choice but to end their questioning. Still, Sean wasn't completely free. His outstanding warrant for failure to appear in court meant he'd spend the next 7 days in custody, and officers immediately transported him to the local jail. Investigators spent the following week interviewing acquaintances, re-examining evidence, and piecing together scattered leads. During their interview, one detail caught Detective Turney's attention: the mysterious red Ford truck that was spotted parked outside Sean's residence, later leaving with unknown contents loaded in the back. Investigators had not yet located this truck, and Turney strongly suspected it might hold something crucial to their case. For now, though, 3 people remained missing, and police narrowed their focus to 2 prime suspects: Sean Lannon, who was recorded on surveillance driving Matthew's truck and potentially connected to the missing red truck, and Danny Lemos, who allegedly received a handgun connected to Sean before disappearing himself. With each passing day, Turney grew more convinced that the missing trio had been murdered, and that their 2 prime suspects likely held the answers. But the window to find something conclusive was quickly closing, because on March 3rd, Sean completed his short jail sentence and was released back onto the streets, significantly raising the stakes. Now facing the possibility of losing another prime suspect, Detective Turney knew he had to act fast. All he needed was just one single lead, some hint of where the bodies might be hidden. On March 5th, officers received a call from the security at Albuquerque's Sunport Airport about an abandoned red Ford Ranger, eerily similar to the one from surveillance footage gathered during the investigation. What officers found inside would confirm the gruesome truth they'd been searching for.
Wasn't that the Dodge? It was a Dodge, though. I thought that left the crib.
Kinda smells. Kinda smells, but not to like decompose or anything, I mean.
Yeah. We called it in by 1:30, but they said they didn't want to send anybody out here.
There's a pretty foul smell coming from the vehicle. Yeah. Every so often. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I can't really tell what it was. You already sound like, I can't really think it smelled like decomp body or something like that, but I don't know. I can smell something, but I can't really tell what it was. It also smells like dirty, big deal, but I don't know. It looks like they're doing all like this stuff, so.
In the back of the truck were several sealed storage bins, emitting an unmistakable smell of decay. And inside were the dismembered bodies of Jennifer Lannon, Matthew Miller, and Justin Mata. Jennifer had been shot at close range in the head. Justin had also suffered a gunshot wound to the head, along with severe blunt force injuries. And Matthew's body showed clear signs of massive head trauma, evidence he'd also been beaten to death.
What the
But
fuck?
the horrors didn't end there. Hidden beneath a tarp in the passenger seat was yet another body. Randall Apostolon, the truck's owner. His body showed signs of severe blunt force trauma, and a bloodied hammer found nearby was clearly the weapon used to kill him.
Bruh.
Investigators found more disturbing evidence inside the truck. Multiple serrated knives stained with dried blood, a handsaw, and several pairs of industrial gloves, all clearly pointing to a calculated, cold-blooded murder. It was still unclear to investigators why Randall had been murdered or how his death was connected to the other three, but they wouldn't have to wait long to find out. Detectives urgently turned to the Albuquerque airport's surveillance cameras, knowing the truck hadn't driven itself there, and it didn't take long before they spotted exactly who they were looking for. On March 3rd, 2021, just
Loki think it's Danny.
2 days before the gruesome discovery, the airport's cameras captured Sean Lannon driving the truck into the airport parking lot, exiting the vehicle, and leaving behind the bodies of his 4 victims. Finally, detectives found their killer. It was time to track Sean down and bring him in. On the same day the bodies were discovered, police urgently scrambled to track down Sean Lannon, but it was already too late. Sean had slipped out of Albuquerque and vanished. Immediately, the U.S. Marshals issued a nationwide alert believing Sean posed an active threat and was possibly on a violent crime spree. Authorities across multiple states joined the manhunt and tracked him down before anyone else was harmed.
You think he went to Mexico?
Then, on March 9th, Detective Turney received a disturbing call. U.S. Marshals informed him that Sean Lannon was now wanted in connection to another murder, this one committed just a day earlier in New Jersey. Authorities had linked Sean to the murder of Michael Debkowski through witness statements and surveillance footage that placed him directly at the scene. A quick background check also revealed the victim wasn't a random target. Debkowski was someone Sean had personally known for many years. It was an alarming detail that made it clear Sean's violent spree was far from over. Now with 5 bodies discovered and a serial killer on the loose, police knew anyone in Sean Lannon's circle could be next, and they had to act fast. Federal authorities urgently tracked Sean's movements, closely monitoring surveillance footage and cell phone data, and finally, on the morning of March 10th, U.S. Marshals pinpointed Sean's location in St. Louis, Missouri, and they quickly moved
Bro went from New Mexico to Jersey to St. Louis.
in and captured him without incident.
What a fucking
Sean
bitch.
Lannon was immediately extradited back to New Jersey, finally putting an end to his killing spree. By now, the evidence against Sean Lannon was overwhelming. Investigators had more than enough to charge him, but there were still critical questions that only Sean could answer. They still needed to understand exactly why he committed these horrific murders and determine whether he acted alone or
Because
if
he's a
others helped
pussy.
him carry out and conceal evidence.
He's a pussy.
Detective Turney sat down face to face with Sean. He expected more lies and deception, but surprisingly, Sean didn't resist or deny anything. Instead, he resigned to his fate, openly admitting he was tired of running and knew his capture was inevitable. In his own words, he simply wanted it to be over. So, with nothing left to hide, Sean would give detectives exactly what they hoped for. A chilling, detailed account of the murders and the twisted reasons behind each one.
Jen was already out with her. Was enough to take her life. So she wanted to make sure she wanted to, for sure. Because I realized she had breathing. She wasn't gonna OD. I went in the other room, psyched myself out, repeating that kind of emotionally charged statement of you killed the Garrison baby. So I had nothing right to do it. I put the pistol on her head and I pulled the trigger. Just like level. A couple seconds later, I was supposed to film the bed too. I put that pistol in my mouth. My handle up. Just went past with my teeth. My son cried out. I was like, I do now. Full of sugar, kids gonna see both our hands went off. And let's put the rounds out of the gun, put it in the dresser. Close the bedroom door, got the kids normal. Set them up the bed in the room. We have a vehicle. And John's boyfriend Troy truck on the car again. So I pretty much lives here, so yeah. Just storage bed. A long one. The sheets that were around here, the bedding was in the bag, in the box. A day later, I tried to dismember her and put her in containers. It worked. Awful and traumatic. Just thinking about it. It still haunts me. I knew I was living on borrowed time at that point, so I needed to get my kids somewhere safe to cope. So I continued with the pack and everything else. All while still mating just a month. So he's responsible for the drugging and doing that to my kids. So like a week, I came to the house. So I was in the laundry room, connected to the garage. So I killed him. Just before I killed him, he offered up a trade. His phone had pictures of Shawn Michael standing there naked in my living room. I don't know what his name was, William or Matthew. Millie, whatever that his name is. With his on my son's shoulders. I was like, who sent you this picture? He's like, I don't know, it's real. He's like, I took the picture. I was like, well, you took that picture. And he just admitted the guy in the picture. So, I said, there it is. He was right over the Facebook gym behind her. He wanted to know if he could do a shot right for it. So I was like, so I said, well, if you find any in the vent, so he was stuffing down in the vent. You can see it coming. There's a nice shot in the back of the head. There was something I was proud of. He's a pretty tall dude. I had the dismember him at some point, a day or two later. It disgusted me. That's gross. I didn't work up the nerves to move the bodies. So there's so much blood. That's why I had that cold floor up in that room. I saw a room that was, the flooring that was pulled up in the kid's bedroom. A piece of landlord never fixed the water leak. And the carpet got molded. It was unsafe. The carpet was outside the house, and so was the padding if they slept for some other reason. It was still there, but it took 2 hours before I had enough ability to even come near Justin.
When you got Justin over there, was this shortly after? Like how long between the time that you shoot Jennifer, that you shoot Justin?
It was at least a week. It took a while.
Did you get him to her?
I was baiting as if I was Jennifer on the phone.
Yeah. So you thought you used to meet Jennifer?
Yeah. I also had pictures of Daniel Lemos and my son. Never got my hands on Daniel Lemos. I fully intended. So I was heading back to New Mexico for like yesterday.
I'm not gonna lie, yo. Let me get this straight. So he's saying Matthew took alright, Justin took a picture of Matthew with his dick on his son's shoulder. That's why he murked Matthew and Justin. And now this guy did something to his son too?
Yeah, we're Danny, guys.
Danny?
If I did, it'd be in the box. So then I had the 3 of them. Probably that kid comes over, William or Matthew or Lehman's, comes over with Felicity, his girlfriend. She looked like she was like 12 years old. And I should put her name on the note too. So he's like, they're looking for money for anything. I'm like, I give you a food card. I like, just take like $40. It's like, all I need is later in the week, give me a ride to get some water. And I'll get liquor when I want. So, one of those times he came back, he didn't have Felicity. And that's when I shot him in the back of the head. I had one of his vehicles, Albuquerque. some point he brought me the box and put him in the back. And that was enough. I couldn't fill enough money to get the vehicle, so he was going to take the truck back, so we found somewhere else for the boxes of these storage containers. I was going to hold them for $150. He wanted another $300 once we got to his place. Randy wanted another $300 to hold the boxes. So I didn't have $300. So basically, I'm gonna drop you back off. So we left, came back to the Pearl. The box was still in the back. Pulled in right there. We got in the fight. I killed him in the front seat. He was in the driver's seat.
Throughout his confession, Sean remained eerily composed, showing almost no emotions. Even more chilling is the fact that just hours after dismembering the bodies and brutally killing Randall, Sean was picked up by police on an unrelated warrant and sat across from Detective Turney, coldly denying any involvement, while a truck full of bodies was parked just a few blocks away.
That's crazy, bro.
I grabbed the truck. I didn't know what to do with it. I don't know anybody. What do you do with the bodies? So I wasn't trying to. I knew at some point it was going to get caught. I just wanted my kids back home. I took them to the airport the day before. And I positioned them. Just everything was the same. Secured the vehicle. That's not obvious. And then I took I believe it was an Uber. I took it home. Right to the Pearl. The next day we flew out, and I'm waiting on time. Again, at some point they'd find the bodies at the airport in the box. And the last thing on my list was the man that was me as a child, my big brother. Big brother's big sisters or whatever. They got too. Wanted the pictures back. He didn't want to give me the pictures, so I started beating him. Then he gave me the pictures. I took his life. So, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of it. I did find time to make it back to finish 10 Lamos.
The last victim in Sean's killing spree was his former mentor, Michael Debkowski, a man Sean accused of abusing him during childhood and believed still had photographs of that abuse. When Debkowski refused to hand over those photographs, Sean killed him without hesitation. But just as detectives thought they heard everything from Sean, he would make one final, shocking statement. There were even more bodies waiting to be found.
Bro.
And so the other 11, you said started about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago? And you disarmed them from guns, and you said knives?
Knives, whatever. Some point. I had that almost like a pickaxe, but it was more of a pick. It's swung like a pickaxe.
Was like if you had to think back, like how many out of the 11 were shot and how many were stabbed? Like if you can elaborate on any of that.
2 were shot.
2. And then how many were stabbed?
The rest of them another.
The rest of them. So 9.
According to Sean, he'd killed at least 11 additional people, mostly drug dealers tied to Jennifer, and hidden their bodies in remote areas of Malpais National Park. Detectives approached these claims cautiously, knowing Sean was a skilled manipulator who mixed truths with calculated lies. Perhaps this was his last attempt to influence the outcome of his trial later on. But despite extensive searches, no additional bodies were ever discovered, and Sean's claims remained unverified. Detectives also investigated one of the key persons of interest directly implicated by Sean himself, Danny Lemos. He was located in Albuquerque and arrested by U.S. Marshals on March 25, 2021. Danny agreed to speak with Detective Turney, firmly denying any involvement and expressing shock that Sean was even capable of these horrific crimes. He admitted taking the handgun Sean had hidden at Kelly's house, but claimed he had no idea it was tied to a murder and had quickly sold it afterwards. After exhaustive interviews and reviewing all available evidence, detectives eventually cleared Danny, along with all other potential suspects, ultimately concluding Sean acted entirely alone. In October 2022, Sean pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Michael Debkowski in New Jersey. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison, and in May 2024, he pleaded guilty to killing Jennifer Lannon, Justin Mata, Matthew Miller, and Randall Apostolone, receiving 4 consecutive 15-year sentences. As part of his plea agreement, Sean will serve his sentence in New Jersey first, then return to New Mexico to serve an additional 60 years behind bars.
Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Wow. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, man. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. That shit's crazy. That shit is fucking insane. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Just stay off the hard drugs, man. Stay off the alcohol. If you need something to help you, go smoke some weed. That's about it, man. Go work out, go cook, go talk to somebody. Like, there's a lot of other things that you can do besides hard drugs and drink, alright? Let me know if you guys want me to react to certain stories or certain stuff. And if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to like it, subscribe. Everything helps. And I'll see you guys in the next video, bro. I love y'all. And I'm probably going to end stream too. So I'll see y'all in the next stream, next video. I love y'all. See ya.